Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, want to talk to you guys a little bit about money. Not just kidding. Wanted to mention something real quick, and then I'll let you guys get back to your lives, your days, your nights, your mornings, your evenings, your whatever it is that you need to get back to. We've been, as of late, today is the 10th of May. This is the anniversary of my best friend's death. That happened in 1989. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry. And when I go, that's because this day is not a good day for me. Well, anyway, let's get past that for a moment, because that's not for you guys, that's for me. Okay? We've been hearing on this day the issue of Mr. Trump, Iran, Israel. If you notice, a couple of days ago, the United States pulled out of the so-called Iranian Accord. At least their portion. It doesn't actually kill the agreement, because the United States wasn't the only ones involved in that agreement. But you notice how just before the United States pulls out, Israel has this, oh, we just found some new information. And they produce that information. All of a sudden, Trump waits to the last minute. And then they decide they're not going to. Oh, God, they left us in suspense. Ladies and gentlemen, then within 24 hours, apparently Iran, from Syria, not from Iran, fired missiles into, or rockets into Israel. And thus, Israel retaliated. Do you guys see what they're doing here? Do you see the distraction? Remember, the issue was North Korea, wasn't it? Then all of a sudden they made it Iran. Then the United States said they're not going to sign the agreement, but before the United States said they're not going to sign the agreement, Israel comes up and says, we got some new information. Then all of a sudden, there's a conflict between Israel and Iran through Syria. People, where does that make sense? On what planet does that make sense? Do you see how scripted this is? That how they predicted all of this by their actions? Israel says they found information on Iran. The United States says it's determining whether or not it wants to stick to the deal. Trump says, well, I'm not sticking to that deal. We're not going to renew it, blah, blah, blah. But all of it happening now, at the same exact time. Why didn't Iran and Syria, that situation, why didn't it happen a week ago, a month ago, a year ago? Why did it happen now? Coincidence? Sorry. I don't believe in coincidences. So I told you with my best friend, they took 25 minutes to get to the scene. And even though the fire station and the firemen and the paramedics were right across the street, still took them 25 minutes to get there. They took him to 4 different hospitals and took him to one hospital twice. And he dies 4 minutes after he gets to that hospital. I don't believe in coincidences, people. So they want us to believe that it's a coincidence. I tell you guys, don't fall for the stupidity. There's just, there's too much of it right now. You already saw where Trump is sitting up there announcing the stupidity, and I'll say it so that you understand it. This stupidity about these caravans coming across the border. And look, I'm not trying to show you all these pictures about the moon land. The alleged moon landing. I'm not trying to show you those pictures. That's just what's in my screensaver. Okay? So let's get back to the reality. Yes, my screen shifts because I cannot be struck and stuck with the same old stupid stuff. Everything that's been happening, just before they get ready to announce something big happens, or there's an event that leads to that something big happening. Before they talked about gun control, we had the Las Vegas shooting. Before it came to an issue of gun control, we had the shooting over there in Florida. Okay, but wait a minute. Then we have another shooting where somebody claims that Mr. Cruz was his hero. At least that's what they said. It doesn't make any sense, people. But it always led to something. Then you got the marches and everybody claiming lives matter. Interesting, ain't it? All you have to do is pay attention. They give you the signs just before they do something. They give you a simple hint. Don't know why that is. I cannot explain to you why they do that. I can only explain to you they do it. We just did a video showing you guys how there is a law that's already in effect, and no, that's YouTube. I don't want to be there. Let's see if we can show that to you. I think it's down here. No, that's the one Supreme Court. Nope, that ain't that. It was here, so I do know it's here. We showed you guys this document. This is the Northwest Ordinance. Please, if you haven't taken a look at this document, I really strongly advise that you go and you read the document. Not this particular document, because this is just a summary, okay? Don't want you looking at the summary. What we want you to do is to pay attention to what it covers. For instance, this lets you know that it was put together by Congress, okay? This, not any Congress. This was the United States of America Congress in joint assembly. This is the full Congress that enacted this with George Washington signing it into law. The Supreme Court has ruled that this is constitutional law. No, 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 not just any Supreme Court. Oh, no, 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 no. The one Supreme Court of the United States of America, the one that is constitutionally backed by the so-called judicial power. It said it was constitutional, which makes this act binding on everyone. But hold on. A lot of people, you're going to have to go back and watch the other video that I just did, because this is perpetual binding on all states, including those who are states newly formed out of the territories. Individuals who became states, individual islands who became states, Alaska, when they became a state, New Mexico, California, it encompasses all of them. Do you know that they cannot interfere with your freedom of religion? Habeas corpus. See, they said habeas corpus can be suspended. So if habeas corpus can be suspended, it means the Constitution can be suspended. Not so fast, morons. That which came first precedes that which came last. This takes precedent over them trying to change this here. Okay? And by the way, the full compensation for your property, you guys really ought to go back and read this particular act of Congress. This is not just an ordinance, this is an act of Congress. So when you get the chance, go take a look at it. Ladies and gentlemen, got our new birth in the background, but I don't want to go past 8 minutes, so goodbye.